Good morning again. Welcome back to LilyLuLou. My name's Karen, the Junk Journal Geek, and a very warm welcome to you, whether you are new here today or if you are coming back for more. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. If you can hear noise in the background, Max is playing with a bone and he's got a habit of throwing it up in the air and letting it fall to the floor. And we've got hard floors all through the house, so it makes a lot of noise, so I do apologise. Right, we're back to do another prompt for Dephemerember 2022. This was hosted by Barbara at 49 Dragonflies and Louise Heinsel, and I will leave links to both their channels in the description below as always. This ran all the way through December, from the beginning, from the 1st up until Christmas, and for various reasons I fell away from it, so I am catching up now, and I am on prompt number 12, which is lace and a postcard. So in my head this is going to be nice and easy today, because what I thought I would do is use one of these as my postcard. And I've printed out these postcards as well, which they are from Weathered Textures on Etsy, and I think they're the same size as these pictures. So I thought I would take a picture, stick it to some card, which is the one thing I haven't got, so I'll have to see if I can grab something to use as card. And then pop this on the back, one of these on the back, as, you know, to make it like a postcard. And we might add a stamp on as well, or maybe use the number 12 as our stamp. So, excuse me, I am still coughing. Max, get down, you can't be in the video. Excuse me, my last chest infection has left me still coughing and a bit breathless, so apologies, I will have to keep slurping my tea. So I'm just, I really want to have something landscape, I think. So we've got the hedgehog or the hamster, the turtle, a fish, or a kangaroo. None of them are particularly calling to me for these prompts. Right, just bear with me. I'm going to grab some, oops, sorry, knocking you. I'm just going to get some card. Right, I've just got a bit of junk mail to use to sandwich in between my bits. So I let Max out while I was up. He's doing his usual trick this morning. Since the clocks went back, he is he's being wound up by the birds in the garden. They're, you know, we've got a few trees in the garden, and they're in and out, flying up and down. It drives him absolutely bonkers. So he's sitting at the back door, whining as he usually does, but at least I know at the moment he's doing it because he can see the birds out there. And he wants to go and try and catch them. Not that he ever could, but I think we're just going to go for the kangaroo, just because. And these, if you haven't seen Dephemerember before, all of these images were designed by Louisa Heinsel, and they were available to download for free for anybody taking part in Dephemerember. So if you do follow the link to their channel, either channel, you will find these on there for you to download. And the numbers that I just showed, you just saw there, I created these for Dephemerember, and there will be a link to those. They are on my buy me a coffee page, but they're free, and I will link those as well in the description. I think I will use this faded old postcard so that it can have some writing space on it, and it's got a little bit of a postmark, although I could pop another, I could stamp the postmark on, couldn't I? Now I really need to get this about the right size so that I can line these up, but I will have to pop them through the chompy chopper to straighten them up, because as you know, if you've been here before, I cannot cut a straight line to save my life. Although I think I might be getting a little bit better. Even when I'm following the lines, I can't stay straight half the time, so it's all fun, fun, fun. So some of these, you know, might get their edges chopped off a bit, but we'll ink the edges and sort that out when we're done. And I've got my box of lace here as well. And I probably will stitch around the edge of this off camera. And then I may well stitch the lace on at that point, I'm not sure. I thought I'd just add a bit of lace on as decoration, because the prompts are lace and postcard, so it feels like a pretty easy one today. Mind you, famous last words, you know what I'm like, I always seem to be able to make everything more difficult than it should be. That is not on there straight, but it's junk journal, it's junk journal ephemera, so that's how it's going to be. Need some more tea because I'm going to cough. Sorry about that. Right, I've got this, I don't think there's any lace in there, I think that's all ribbon. Now I've got my tin here that I chuck bits of lace in. I don't know whether I want it on the front or the back. Maybe down the side. That's a possibility. They're too big. Got some thinner pieces there. Anything else calling to me? That's a bit more interesting colour. They're a bit too big. Got a little bit there. Well, that might be nice if we do like a stamp. Right, don't get too much out, otherwise you'll be here all day, Karen, trying to make a decision. Let's pop those out of the way. And then over here, I managed to find an old box. This is the lid for the box, and the box is what I used to use when the babies were little as a changing box. Had all nappies and wipe. Well, it's still got wipes in now. Nappies and wipes and creams and, you know, all the bits you need to hand when you're changing a baby's bottom. And after my babies got bigger, it was used to store. My youngest daughter collected Sylvanian families, so we used it to store those, all the little bits and pieces in there. And it's been down in the garage since we moved here, and obviously she's 21 now, so she doesn't tend to play with her Sylvanian families. So I thought, I'm going to empty that out, pop the Sylvanian families in a box up in the loft, and use the box. So the box is full of all the things that I use you know, that I use quite a lot. I want to show you the box, but it's going to be too much hassle. It's got a bit in the top that lifts out, so it's got a deep bottom, tray at the top that lifts out with all, I put my scissors in there and my glues and everything, my ink, so I don't lose it again. And then on the top, as I'm working, any bits and pieces, I tend to chuck on this lid and it just goes on top of the box, and I have all these bits to hand when I'm working. So I've just pulled out a few of the bits and pieces to try and do something nice with this. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to just turn you off again for a moment and trim these edges off, and then I'll be back. Right, so I'm back again. I've trimmed that, got smaller and smaller and smaller because I trimmed the front first. Then I trimmed the back, which was wonky. So then the front was wonky, and I think this needs to, you know, it's more important this is straightish rather than this. So I trimmed a bit more off. And I've almost lost the text, but I think it's okay. Now my number 12 is going to be very big on here. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Because obviously that's far too big to use as some sort of stamp. I don't really want to cover too much of the back up. But it's going to have to cover something up, because it's rather ginormous. Let's take these edges off first and see how that looks. And I might end up losing the frame altogether, and just, oh, I need to ink the edges as well, don't I? I haven't done that yet. Where I've been chopping. I was thinking of, I wanted to make a little cluster with this and stick it on. I don't think I've done that yet on any of these pieces. But it is quite large. Don't know. I was thinking of doing some sort of little cluster with these bits and pieces. Covering up his tail if I do it there. Might pop it there. Just grabbing my stapler out of my handy box. Do I want any of these in the cluster? This is a sheet of vintage labels. It's on sort of thin card. This was in a book, craft box, but they are no longer in operation, I believe. So I had a few books of you know, reproduction ephemera from them like this. I haven't got a book to hand to show you what I'm talking about, but it's just a book, you know, sheets of paper. Yeah, so I was thinking of perhaps popping one of these on as well. I don't know. It's not like me to be indecisive, is it, when it comes to decorating? If you're new here, that's sarcasm. Just in case you didn't get that. You know what they say, sarcasm is the lowest form of wit, but at least it means you have wit. Yes, I'm going to pop mine. It's going to be hidden by the staple is probably going to cover most of that up, but it's just an extra little detail. I've got staples in there, haven't I? Yes. Let's try and hold these and staple this without going through my finger at the same time. That didn't work. Why is it things never work when you're videoing? Something's got jammed there. Right, let's try again. I'd like to see that bit of music there if I can. I'm going to move all this now, and it will be in totally the wrong place when I come to stick it on. Or maybe I should put that on there. Right, sorry, if you've been here before, you know what I'm like when it comes to decorating. It's just the way I am. I don't really mind covering up this information because it's on all of, or most of the pictures I've used. And this is only for me. I'm not giving it to anybody, so I know where all this stuff's come from, so it's not really that important, is it? I like this little tiny piece because it is like a mini stamp and postmark. So oh, should I try and staple the whole thing on? Now that I've got that there. I wanted that wonky, didn't I? Why have I put it straight? I wanted it wonky and off. I never normally do this, but I'm just wondering whether to try and staple the whole thing straight onto the card, or is that going to be too much for the stapler? My thumb and finger are too fat for me to get the stapler exactly where I want it to be. So let's just quickly glue with these roughly where I want them, just to hold them. Keep moving these around now, don't I? Put a bit of glue on there. Put that on there. And I've just realised this is crochet trim. Is that lace? Can that be classed as lace? Yay! Right, I've got that on there. Yep, it's caught everything. And I didn't ink the edges. Oh, I've just said to myself, didn't I? I've got to ink those edges. I haven't done that yet. I mean, I've stuck them on without inking the edges. What am I like? My only consolation is most of the people I watch on video, and if you know I watch you and you don't count yourself among these people, please don't be offended. But I know most of the people I watch have these same sort of issues as me. Like saying they're going to ink something and then not doing it. So now I just want to put a little bit on the back of that piece that was very white. I'm just dirtying that up a bit. So we've got our number 12 on. And now I've done that, I'm thinking I should have put that on the back, but I didn't, so we're not going to worry about it. And I was thinking about doing another postmark, but I don't think I need to because that one's on there. And this is okay to write on if I want to at any point. Now, do I want to stick a little stamp on there or not? These are all a bit too big, I think. They're going to... I know these are not real stamps, but... And I've got a jar of stamps and I don't know where I've put them. I went to get them down before I started and I couldn't see them up on my shelf where I keep them, so don't know what's happened there. Have I got anything here that looks like a stamp? Apart from those really, really tiny... No, the stamp would be on the back anyway, wouldn't it? Because it would have gone there where that mark is. Just wondering if that little one would go on. These are very close together, some of them, so it's a bit tricky cutting out. I haven't asked you, have I? I hope you're all well and happy, managing to do some crafting of your own. What are you working on at the moment? Let me know. I'm working on a journal that's going to be for a friend, and I showed you the papers that I made to go with the journal. And I may well film making some ephemera to go in the journal, but I'm not going to film the actual making of the journal for various reasons. But I will film a flip through, but I won't upload that until after she has got it. That is actually upside down, Karen. So I might pop that on there. With the little snippet of lace behind it. Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking. I will film a flip through, as I say, so you can see what I've done. But I'm not going to upload it until after I've given it to her, and I'm not going to explain my reasons just in case she watches this video, because she will know that I'm making a journal for her if I explain my reasons. She'll have a pretty good idea anyway. So this all sounds very mysterious, doesn't it? But I do need to make another journal for a different friend, and I will be filming that one, so you will get to see me doing a full journal shortly. I will start that shortly. So now I wonder if this glue is going to work, because I've been away and this is the first crafting video I've done since I got back. Maybe I should stick that onto the thing first. Which is the right way round? I can't see. Oh, it's coming out. Yeah, this glue's been sitting for probably a week, so I never know whether it's going to actually work or not when I go to use it. Right, that's on there like that. Let's pop a little bit more on the back of this stamp because it's heavier card and I've got the lace underneath. I'm using the glue that's supposed to stick and isn't. Right, let's pop that there. And I think I'm going to call that done. I did want it to be a nice, simple video today, not necessarily quick, but so we have got a bit of lace on there just in case the crochet trim didn't count. That's the back of our postcard. I don't know if you can see on the back there, but very, very faint is the name and address and the message that would have been written on there originally. It's focusing now. And then on the front we have Louisa and Barbara's image as the postcard with our little cluster in the corner. So, and I wanted this to be free. I don't know how long that will last because that is just paper. I might have to stick that down eventually, and I may stitch around this. I did intend to originally, but now that that cluster's on there, I'm not sure. But if that starts looking like it's going to get damaged, I might just do a bit of stitching around it to help hold it down. So that's our Dephemerember number 12, lace and a postcard. So I hope you enjoyed watching me fumble around with that. Thank you for joining me today. Enjoy your own crafty time. Until the next time, stay safe and take care. Bye-bye.